Hey everyone, Joseph Rothschild here, aka Mono Bluetron. I have returned from the Brooklyn Regional. It was 10 minutes from my house. It was an excellent drive, except the lift that we got picked us up on the wrong side, and we had to pay $9 for a canceled lift. That was unfortunate. But other than that, very good tournament. Top 48 at this tournament got their invite, and I came in at a comfortable 48th place, which does get the invite, so easiest regional of my life, I guess I'd say. I have my good friend and fellow qualifier Gavin Knox recording. Yeah, I figured I would just give you a quick discussion of the deck I played, which was Trickstar Windwitches. My card choices. I know you all ache to hear the passionate ramblings of a Trickstar player. They're just so smart. So, here is the deck. First, for Trickstars, I am playing 3 Candina, 3 Licorice, and 1 Lilybell. I know a lot of people go up to 2 Lilybell. I would probably do that after this event. There were a lot of rounds where I was like, oh, if I just had a second Lilybell, I would, be able to win this game, and I didn't.
Off like a banished Lilybell?
Yes, Pot of Desires banished this card. I think 100% of the time that it was ever cast. I don't know, the two love each other. But more importantly, routinely, I would just end up with a Lilybell engraved, no way to recur it, and like a light stage I could have used to get a Lilybell to normal summon to do like the Lilybell Licorice return special attack for 2800 that would have like edged out some close matches. Next is the Windwitches. I'm playing 3 Ice, 2 Show Up in My Hand Bell, and 1 Snow Bell. I don't hate these ratios. I would love to play one of this card, but I draw it so goddamn often that I don't think I could without losing my mind. I don't like Windwitches. I don't think they're particularly good. I much prefer different versions of this deck. But one thing Trickstars really lack, just because they're new and only have one wave of support, is a lot of really good linear plays. Like, once you hit a critical mass of good cards in archetype, suddenly your deck, sort of plays itself. And while Trickstar does certainly play itself on occasion, it also, can just not draw Trickstars sometimes. My entire match versus Gavin in round 8, I drew exactly 0 Trickstars. And because of that, I'm like, I should probably play another linear game plan. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is a guy, occasionally steals games, deals damage, so they were alright. I made him, I think, 10 or 12 times, so relevant. Next to the hand traps, 3 copies of Honest. This card was pretty bad all day, actually. I boarded it out a lot. I kept it in scenarios where I didn't have more to bring in, honestly. I would probably, you're right, I would cut it, but the deck really has a problem with big dudes. Just can't really get over them, and gummy board states, and this sort of solves some of those problems. It also stole me a couple of games. There was a game against an opponent who went attack with my Tornado Dragon, and I went, just quadruple Honest you out of the game. That was fun. Next is Droll and Lockbird. This card was great all day. I actually only hand looped maybe 2 or 3 people this entire tournament. I think I only hand looped twice in my entire time. Honestly, most of the time I was just using Droll and Lock as Droll and Lock, and that won me more games than the hand loop. Droll and Lock is a strong card, and apparently he's about to get a lot stronger.
Ends the game quite often. Ends the turn quite often.
Ends the turn, which this deck loves. I need the light stage. I need the light stage. I need the light stage.
Now, it seems to me that you need the light stage.
Yeah, so like I said, the deck does lack linear plays. As a result, I'm playing set rotation to try and weasel my way into light stage. Gateway to Chaos. Boy, I drew this a lot today. I think 3 times, which actually is probably about average. But it sure felt like I was drawing it a lot. Hilariously, in my last game, the opener was set rotation, gateway, droll, and I won that game. I don't really know how it happened, but here we are. But yeah, Trickstar Light Stage does everything in a half. It's unbelievable. It doesn't get a Ghost Ogred. It only gets Ashed, and if you have 9 different ways of recurring the stage, you can almost guarantee that you're going to get a search off of it. Also helps in a lot of scenarios where you have to kind of build your own FTK. It's not only good to accrue advantage and target set cards so you can go off. It's really good if you can be Light Stage, Terraforming, set rotation, and you don't even need chain summoning, right? You can get Candina, 2 Licorices, and then 1 reincarnation in your hand does the exact same combo without having to chain summoning. Speaking of chain summoning, the next card is chain summoning. This card sucks. I think I got to resolve this twice today. Obviously, it won me the game on the spot every time I did. This version of the deck actually has a pretty good chance of getting chain summoning off. But I mean, sometimes you're on going second. Sometimes you draw two of them, and it's just like really awkward.
This seems to be the only sort of like cheesy part of the deck.
Yeah, I think like there's gonna be an eventual point in Trickstar's future where we stop like relying on any FTKs whatsoever and just like play it as a value engine.
Right.
Next is two Twin Twister. This is my love letter to the format. You know, I have to hit Time Pendulum Graph. I have to hit Set Masterpiece Spells and Traps. I have to hit, I don't know, Paleos. I hit a lot of Paleo today. This was an all-star in those games.
Hey now.
Pot of Desires is fine. People say don't play it in Trickstar because you'll banish Lilybell, and they're right. But I play it anyway. And One Regeki. For traps, I'm just playing Reincarnations. I was on Solemns, like Strikes and Warnings, and then I was on like Disturbance Strategies, and then I was on like Present Card. I didn't like any of them. I just like Reincarnation. Alright, on to the extra.
Extra deck.
This is your Windwitch stuff. I did get Ghost Ogred once. I stopped playing around Ghost Ogre as sort of a matter of principle. I'm like, you know, who's going to play Ghost Ogre in the main deck? And I took a Max C challenge, and I was like, well, I mean, he would have drawn into Ghost Ogre if he plays at main deck, but let's test him on it. And he did Ghost Ogre it, and it lost him the game, actually, hilariously, because he couldn't stop a later play. This card's fine. Routinely, you actually find yourself in a scenario where you don't have access to Snowbell. I won a game because this card was in my extra deck, the Decider for meeting top 48. I'll explain that. I'll explain it now.
Yeah.
The play was my opponent had an active. What's the name of the big
Ultimate
damn
Conductor
dragon?
Tyranno.
Yeah,
Ultimate Conductor
Ultimate
Tyranno.
Conductor Tyranno. And I go Glassbell, Icebell, and he goes okay, and I go add Snowbell, and he goes that's fine, thinking he'll do it when I Snowbell. I sink into Crystal Wing, and then I normal the Snowbell and go into this guy and beat over him and deal exact scenes. It's fantastic. Ugh. Nightmare Shark has not stolen me a game in about a week, but sometimes it does, so still in there. Castel, I mean, you know, we're just playing some guys, you know, rank 4s and rank 3s. Tornado Dragon's obviously quite good. Breaksword is obviously quite good. Utopia is fine. There's space in the extra right now. That's why people have been sort of integrating link strategies.
Did you go into a rank 4 all day?
Did not go into any of this all day. Honestly, I went into like these 3 cards and nothing else. Maybe a Breaksword in one game. Link Monsters, Decode Talker, and Holly Angel. I had Decode Talker in as a Cherries target for the Dino FTK, but I think I just like it. Like, occasionally you just accidentally make him and he's a big, stupid guy. Holly Angel I went into all day. I would bump her up to 2. I would find room for a second one of these guys.
Holly Angel!
Right. Holly into Holly is very funny. And then my Cherries targets, because I'm playing it in the side. Toad. This was fine. I beat a couple Paleo players off this, and then I lost to some while doing it. Psyframe Lord Omega. I didn't see any Sworn, but Sworn is not a particularly good matchup, and I know they just want to go into a bunch of Omegas or something stupid. Mechba, didn't see any Invoked all day, but, you know, I have a hard time beating this card, and ABC Buster Dragon didn't see ABC all day. Most of the decks represented here I just don't have a very coherent sideboard plan for, so.
Would you go up on any Cherries targets?
No. No. No, probably not. Double Helix. So now the board. The board kind of comes in waves. We got D-Barrier, which came in on the play versus Pendulums almost exclusively. Also hoses like weird rogue decks like Sworn and BA.
And it was good, wasn't it?
It was quite good. It won me a lot of games. Kaijus, these came in every time I went second, almost. Alongside the better of the 2 hand traps, either Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, or Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, usually, sometimes both, but very rarely. And we also have some cool going second options. The other Twin Twister, Dark Hole, and Maxi. The reason I'm playing 1 extra Twin Twister in the board is because my board plan is routinely set rotations and gateway out, Windwitch is out, and that's 10 cards. So I would be like 4, 7, 8, 9, and then I'd end up with 1 extra card. I was on like 3 D-Barrier, 3 Anti-Spell, and I would like weirdly be boarding an Anti-Spell on the play, or on the draw, and I was like, this is terrible. Let's just take one out and put it in a Twin Twister. It does the same thing. But I liked these ratios. The Kaiju were great all day. Ghost Ogre was actually pretty good all day. Ghost Reaper was fine, but not great. D-Barrier was great. I went into every single part of this this weekend.
Alright.
So that's my list. So I can talk a little about the matchups, which I have on this handy-dandy notebook. Round 1 I played versus Paleo, and it was a guy who just made the deck. I felt pretty bad for him. Round 2 I lost versus Pendies. It was against what's his name? Oh, it's late. The Italian.
Oh, Marcelli.
Yeah, I played against Marcelli. Game 2, I'm 1-0 going into round 2, and who do I play against? Game 1 I got him down to 100 life points, and the man won. He's a legend. Round 3 I won versus Pendies. He's just like an okay player. Round 4 I lost versus Pendies. Like, Pendies, man. Round 5 I won versus Trickstar in the mirror, and boy, was that a catastrophe. I hope Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't ever become that. Round 6 I won versus Pendies. Round 7 I won versus Paleo. Round 8 I lost versus Paleo against my good friend Gavin, who, yeah, that happened. And then round 9 I won versus Dino, of all things, TK Dino. Worth noting that I did get a game win in that one because he forgot, because they posted at a weird time. But we ended up playing out the match and I won anyway. But it was a fantastic deck. It'll be up on my channel later. But yeah, pretty cool run. I did some math with Gavin to see if we would be able to make it at X3, and I concluded that we would, which is why it was correct to play out our round 8 match. Unfortunately, I was on the losing side, and I just barely made it in. So happy to not have to play Yu-Gi-Oh! During Spiral format, you know, in any regional sort of sense.
Thank goodness.
I just don't have the money to invest in it. Happy to have gotten my invite and stop playing Trickstar forever. I'll do quick shout-outs to Gavin Knox, good friend, testing partner. We spent a lot of time on DB kind of just bashing our heads into the wall. Sorab Pasikani, who did all he could to basically talk me out of everything good I played in my deck. No, that was what I did with him. And the two of them for supporting me throughout the tournament, even when I was incredibly salty after losing to a friend. But that's basically it. Everyone sub to my channel and give me $500 million on the Patreon I haven't set up yet.
All right, well, I'll be first in line.